Hello, and welcome back to the Write Your Path podcast. My name is Lolly Spindler. I'm a writer, editor, book doula, and writing coach. And today I am hitting record at a very auspicious time. Today is Tuesday, June 9th, and it is exactly 2:55 p.m. Mexico City time. And if you're into astrology, this is when Venus and Jupiter are meeting. Let me explain a little bit about this and why I decided to hit record right now. I'm going to read you through something Spirit Daughter, who is one of the astrologists I follow, wrote. The two planets that govern abundance and manifestation are meeting on June 9th. This is a massive opportunity to receive unlimited abundance, and it will not happen again like this for years. This is what you need to know. On June 9th, Venus and Jupiter meet at 25 degrees in Cancer at 12:55 p.m. PT, which is 2:55 p.m. Mexico City time when I am recording this for you. These are the two most generous planets in our solar system. Venus is the magnet, Jupiter is the amplifier. Together, they create a frequency of abundance that is hard to match at any other point this year. Here's what makes this one so rare. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. That means it is operating at its absolute highest power, and Venus is joining it there. Your ability to attract and your capacity to receive are perfectly aligned. But here is the part most people get wrong about manifestation. June 9th is not a day for pushing, striving, or forcing your intentions into the universe. It is a day for receiving. Venus draws things in, Cancer receives from a place of deep inner knowing. Jupiter amplifies everything. You cannot receive from a place of fight or flight. So, when your nervous system is activated, your body is actually in survival mode. It is focused on getting through the moment, not opening up to abundance. This conjunction is asking you to slow down, get grounded, and come back to your body. So, even though I will be recording this, publishing this on Wednesday, recording this on Tuesday today, you can still do this little ritual tomorrow, as we'll still be in this energy. So, first thing that you're going to want to do is soften and surrender. Find the coziest spot in your home, let your body settle, and release your grip on the timeline. Number 2, step into the version of you who already has what you want, what you desire, what your highest self is calling you towards. How does that person wake up? What decisions do they make? Live as that person. Let yourself be witnessed. Number 3, share that vision that you just had for yourself with someone else, with someone you trust. Speak about what you are calling in as though it is already unfolding. And number 4, write yourself a letter from your future self. Describe the feeling in your body now that you are living this reality. Get specific and let yourself actually feel it. You can now use this invocation every morning and evening. It says until tomorrow, but since the new moon is coming in on the 14th, I'm going to say you can do it until then. So every time when self-doubt creeps in, you can say this. Every time scarcity speaks, you can say this. I now align with my highest, most optimal, wealthiest timeline. I'll say that once more. I now align with my highest, most optimal, wealthiest timeline. So say this when old patterns of scarcity try to pull you back, when self-doubt creeps in, when you feel that tinge of imposter syndrome. And then you're going to want to write your intentions for the new moon, which I said will be happening in Gemini on June 14th. So if you get into this practice before the new moon on June 14th, your intentions will come from a completely different place. So I just wanted to share this because I happened to be sitting down to record an episode exactly as this conjunction was happening. And so I do want to talk a little bit about abundance versus scarcity. I see so many of my friends, family, loved ones in a place of scarcity that they don't even realize the scarcity. And sometimes it's really hard to witness those that you love in that space when you know that abundance has so much to offer. And just living with an abundance mindset is so much more joyful, to be honest. It's so much more uplifting. Whenever I feel myself kind of falling into fits of sadness or depression or anxiety, it's always because of a scarcity mindset. It's because I haven't done this or I don't have enough of that. Whenever I'm rooted in abundance, on the other hand, is when I feel the most joy, when I feel the most present. Like I've said many times before, and I will say many times in the future, I truly believe that depression is rooted in the past, anxiety is rooted in the future, and that joy is rooted in the present. So whatever can bring us back to the present, and if one of those things for you is an abundance mindset, I think that is so important to bring us back to joy, because that's the point of life, right? Like, what are we all striving for? Happiness, contentment, joy. And if we can realize we can have those things right now in the present, we will live much more fulfilled lives. I'll just share some recent examples of scarcity mindset that I've noticed within my friend group, and kind of how I try to redirect my friends when I see this. I'm a projector in human design. I'll put a link to the test. If you haven't figured out your human design yet, you can just plug it in and it'll spit it out for you. But I am a projector, which means that I have to wait for an invitation before I can just give my advice. So whenever things like this do come up and I see them in my friends and family's lives, I'm always like, would you like a different perspective on that? Or would you like my opinion? Like, I can't just kind of give it, because if a projector does give their thoughts, opinions without checking before and receiving that affirmative, it can be like sandpaper, is what I've read online. So one of these examples is I had an extra ticket to a show, and it was already me and 3 friends, and so I wanted another friend to come along. And so I sent it out to a couple of people I knew loved this band and that I would also love to experience this moment with. And one of the people wrote back to me and was like, oh yeah, I'd love to come. Let me check the prices on Ticketmaster. And I was like, oh no, well, like, I have an extra ticket. So like, you can just buy it for me and then we'll all go together. It's like a win-win, I don't lose this ticket, and also you get to come and we get to have a good time. And they were like, oh, well, I checked the prices and it's actually cheaper to buy from, I don't even remember what like site it was or whatever. And I was just like, okay, like, that's cool, but I was trying to do this out of a place of, yes, not only am I trying to sell this ticket, but I really thought of you as someone who I would love to enjoy this experience with. And now I feel like a little weird because it was like a beautiful moment, something I wanted to share. And now it's like kind of been tinged by this money thing that is kind of like uncomfortable now, right? And I was like, if this had been from a perspective of an abundance mindset, it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. This person has an extra ticket. I would love to enjoy it with them. 100%. I am going to buy the ticket, and that's that. Right? Instead it was, oh, this person offered me a ticket. I want to check if I can get it cheaper for somewhere else. And now it's completely changed the dynamic of the experience. And I don't want to say this as like, if you're on a budget, you're on a budget, and I get that. But for me, it was just like this very blatant example of coming from a scarcity mindset where somebody wants to include you in an experience and the first thing you think about is money, or the first thing you think about is, how can I do this for cheaper? Or how can I get this for less? Or how, right? So it completely changes the energy from which you're going into this experience. Another example of scarcity mindset I've recently come across is a friend recently left Mexico City, kind of like very suddenly, because they got a job in a city where they had lived previously and were very unhappy. this person had been looking for a job for a while. So like I understand why they took it. But they definitely took it out of more of sitting with that uncertainty of not having something lined up had worn on them to a point where they took anything that came to them, and now they are incredibly unhappy. They were recently here. They recently came back for a visit. They didn't want to talk about their life. They didn't want to talk about being back in the city. They didn't want to talk about the apartment. They're so unhappy that they won't even share what their life is like with me now. And it made me so sad because it's like, wow, it is such a disservice to yourself to think something better isn't coming, that I have to take this thing I know will make me miserable. It just made me really fucking sad, to be honest. And I was like, why did you do this to yourself then? Like, if you are so unhappy with every aspect of your life now, like, who cares about the fucking job? Like, your mental health is number one. And if your mental health is suffering, right? Like, once again, it kind of comes back to money. I guess it comes back to prioritization. I am someone who will prioritize my mental health over financial success every single day. Like, if I can be happier, more fulfilled, more mentally stable, making less money, I will do that. And so, yeah, it was just kind of like this scarcity mindset of there's no opportunity out there for me. So I have to take this one that just appeared, even though, I'm going to be really unhappy, knowing like I'm going to be unhappy if I do this. So it just was kind of like, wow, like people are more comfortable being miserable than they are with sitting with uncertainty. So that's just another example of kind of scarcity mindset that recently jumped out at me. And so if you do see yourself in these examples, or if you do find yourself falling into a scarcity mindset, I know personally this has been a struggle for me this year. I've had fewer clients this year, and it was just kind of like things kept coming up, right? Like a friend was going to write her book, and then she's like, actually, I have decided to focus on this screenplay I'm writing because I want to shoot this movie this year. And I was like, amazing, great. And then another friend wanted to write her book, and then she was like, you know what? Actually, I just got a new job, and so I really need to focus on that. So like things have kind of just like happened. And so I haven't had as many clients. And at the beginning of the year, I was really like worried and like, oh my God, like I normally have like a couple book clients lined up, and I didn't have any clients lined up for like book writing. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then I was like, I'm okay. The clients will come. The universe is telling me to sit my ass down and pause right now and take stock of where I'm at and where I want to go. And so I am choosing to see it that way, right? I'm choosing to see it in abundance, to see it as an opportunity, as opposed to seeing it in scarcity, as opposed to seeing it in a lack of opportunities. I'm seeing it as an abundance of rest, an abundance of pause, an abundance of recalibration, and figuring out what I want to do next. So this is one way I try to recalibrate myself when I find myself falling into a scarcity mindset. So I hope that can possibly help you, just turning the lens from a lack of to an abundance of, because there's always both. We just get to choose what we focus on. So that's really what I wanted to bring today. I hope this conjunction of Venus and Jupiter brings that abundance to you, and that you're able to recalibrate and figure out what is something I would like to call in, what is something I want to shift my energy and attention to right now. As we enter this second half of the year, I think it's a really great time to pause and take stock of what we've done so far, what's worked, what hasn't this year, and just see what projects, what people, what situations, what communities we want to start investing our time and attention in. in the months to come. So that is my invitation to you in this period of abundance. And I do hope with this in mind, you are able to have some more clarity as you do write those intentions in a few days on June 14th for the new moon. If you're into astrology, that's just a good time to do this. And to really just connect with that part of you that's rooted in abundance and to write those intentions from that space. So this was a shorty, this was a quickie, but I hope this serves you all. And thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe and share with someone you think would like this and that this might help. Thank you all for being here. I will see you on the next one. Ciao.